everybody. Happy quarantine. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's get down to business. Alright, so I totally just saw somebody's playthrough of Resident Evil 3. I haven't gotten it yet because you know what I'm saying. Like, we in quarantine, people don't have jobs. I don't know why they didn't just give the game up for free, but I know that they can't work like that. I know everyone can't work like that, but at least, you know, this thing is just ironic, right? It's ironic, the irony of Resident Evil being like basically the premise for this whole coronavirus situation. I was saying this a long time ago. Before I even got to America, I was like, it's going to come here. It's going to spread like wildfire. People are going to be stupid. And it came to pass. It came to pass. Freaking psychic, honestly. Anywho, let's get down to actual business. 9 mistakes I want left out of Resident Evil Code Veronica Remake. Because honestly, y'all made a lot of mistakes with 3. Y'all keep making extra mistakes. Like, the first time you guys remade Resident Evil 1, y'all were like, okay, we're going to do a straight-up remake. We're going to update the graphics. We're going to do what the exact same thing that we did. And people were like, oh, we don't want the exact same. I want the exact same game. Don't change the story. I don't care if you, like, if you change particular things, like maybe a key looks better, you know, or maybe a key item looks better, but don't change the story. If you have to change the story to do something different, don't change the story. I don't care what you have to do, but don't change the story at all whatsoever, ever. All right? So Resident Evil 2, y'all just got crazy and just like made Claire all types of thirsty for Leon for no reason. For no reason. That didn't happen in 2. Like, if you play it, Resident Evil 2 is Claire's game. No one will ever tell me differently. Ever. You play through it, it's her game. Leon is just a side character. There's always a side character. Always. Alright? So, with Resident Evil 2, y'all like to make people look crazy, make Claire look dopey, and make Leon look like a baby face. Like, what on earth? Why did he look that way? The guy that did his mocap looks more like Leon than the guy that we actually got. Like, he looks crazy. And his chin looks like a bum. Alright? Now, let's get to 3. So, Nemesis, spoilers for if anyone has I'm gonna probably get it when it's cheaper. Because, like I said, no one has a job right now unless you're a doctor or someone that people actually need. It's just like, ooh, sorry, you should have actually been a doctor or been something that people use on a daily basis, not just some regular schmegular getting money from another place. But I digress. Straight up. Nemesis is barely around. The fights are you just shoot and you can really just not make it. Like, I watched the Rad Brad. I've been watching him since the very, very beginning of his thing. I can't believe he's got a kid named Clementine. That is so cool because he played The Walking Dead, and Clementine was like one of his favorite characters. I think that's really cool. But Nemesis is like sucky, and then you've got Carlos, who's even suckier, and then Nikolai is like a favorite, a Resident Evil favorite. He literally came back in 9 different games, honestly. Like, and Nikolai barely does anything. I haven't seen the end because I really do want to get it. I just really don't have the time, but I needed to, like, for research purposes, watch a few, and I didn't see him get that far. I only, like, saw until he actually fought Nemesis for the first time. Nemesis was not a looming, like, Mr. X was more looming than Nemesis. So I'm worried. I'm worried, right? I am worried. And I know that we've got other things to worry about. The virus and everything. Pandemic and toilet paper and eggs running out and milk running out. Honestly, milk is running out because the cows, like, they can't get the stuff from point A to point B to point C, which is the stores, in time before the milk goes bad, so they have to throw it out. That's what we're dealing with. But you know what? I'm talking about Resident Evil Code Veronica Remake. Alright? You do not make these 9 mistakes. These are 9 mistakes that I do not want to see. Alright? Because you guys are making extra mistakes for no reason. 1 to 10, Resident Evil 1 remake, 8, alright? An 8. Because it still looked like claymation. I don't know what on earth that was, but whatever. I don't care. Resident Evil 2, Claire was too thirsty. Mr. X was really good. I think that was a really good aspect. Nothing I could say, like, except there were barely any puzzles. Like, I like puzzles. 3, I don't even recall ever seeing a puzzle from the get-go, from the jump. I don't see it. You get a little, you have to figure out what you use key items for, and that's it. That's literally it. That's not a puzzle. But I'll get back to that. Let's start at 1. Resident Evil isn't your pet project, all right? Whoever's doing this crap, it's a real thing that has already happened. Stop making it too actiony. Like, Resident Evil 3 is too actiony. And I know this was the most action type one, but I see y'all are getting extra. 1 to 2 to 3 remake is getting more actiony. And I swear, if you make Code Veronica really actiony, you'll make me sick, honestly. If it's got to be any action, 25% action, all right? We need some more suspense. We need some thriller aspect, and we need some puzzles. How about that? How about that? Why don't you go back and play the games and actually do what you did before? How about that? Number 2, leave QuickTime events in the past. If you can't get there, better be few and far between. And I'm not sure why you guys keep doing that. Like, in Resident Evil 4, it was a really big thing. I played it on PC, and I didn't know what buttons to press, so I had to literally get a controller so that I could play it on PC, because it was like, oh, it would dodge the boulder, and I kept pressing every button, and I had no idea what to do, and I kept dying. But that's not my problem with QuickTime events. QuickTime events with Nemesis and Resident Evil 3 looked really dumb. It was really, really dumb. You should not do that. There should be no QuickTime events for the person that is chasing you. Don't do that. Like, there's absolutely no reason why you have to do that. Like, honestly. Like, in Resident Evil 2, the crocodile scene where you were just running from him and you had to dodge, that's dumb too. The crocodile boss was supposed to be a boss that you actually fought, not that you just ran away from, so that you could load the next place, the next area. I know your tricks. I may just be an average Joe, but I know my games, and I know how y'all do tricks to load other parts of the game. I know that. Don't blame me. So if you're going to do that to any character in Code Veronica, I suggest you don't, because that's just not going to fly. That's just not going to fly. Don't do that with Alexia. Don't do that with Alfred, and do not do that with Wesker. I beg of you, honestly. Number 3, stop making movies. Resident Evil 3 looked borderline like a movie, and I'm not saying that it can't not look like a movie. I'm saying if you're going to have cutscenes or you're going to have these QuickTime event garbage nonsense, I really don't know why you have to have that, honestly. You have to do double the work. Like, my favorite online part was Resident Evil 5, where you could do those things where you would get an S tier or an A tier or something, or B. You would get a grade over how well you did killing enemies and stuff. That was good. Why don't you do that for Code Veronica? How about you do that? Give us extra content other than just the story. Because you guys are adding cutscenes and QuickTime events and bitter nonsense that really doesn't need to be there. Cutscenes that are super duper long, and then you go and then there's another, like with Kingdom Hearts. Like, that was a problem. Please don't be like them. And I see it happening. There were barely any cutscenes in the first one. There were a little bit of cutscenes in the second one, and now there's way more cutscenes in the third. And I see y'all progressing to make a movie. If you really want to make a movie, just make a movie, honestly. But whatever. Number 4, backtracking is yo staple. Don't let no one tell y'all differently. Linear maps suck in your games. I don't want to have to go forward and then get stuck or go back, or not be able to go back. I don't want to not be able to go back. I want to be able to go back and see what I've done, and not on a different character. Like, that's not how we roll. That's never how y'all rolled. Stop doing that. Y'all staple what we liked about the games, y'all are taking out. and I already see it happening. So do not do that with my favorite game, Code Veronica. Do not do that. We should be able to go to Rockford Island, go back and forth, and then leave to the Antarctic, and then Chris is there. Like, that should be the thing. That should be it. No ifs, ands, buts about it. That should be it. I don't know why y'all are taking away backtracking slowly. I see it. I see it ever so slowly. Y'all are taking backtracking away. And stop doing that. Don't. Bring it back. Bring it back. All right? Number 5. Puzzles. 2. Yeah. Puzzles are your bread and butter. Like, I expect better than looking for a key to an obvious door that's locked. That's all I'm saying. Puzzles. Look up the definition of puzzles and then put it in your game. Because y'all don't know the definition of puzzles. Because y'all just think that a puzzle is getting bolt cutters and you got to figure out where you got to use the bolt cutters. That's not a puzzle. That's a objective. Get the bolt cutters, put it somewhere. In one, I don't remember if there was a puzzle because it's been so long ago. I literally played Remake 1, Remake 2. The only puzzle I can recall is not a puzzle at all. Like I said, look up the definition of a puzzle. The definition of a puzzle does not mean you just find these 3 things and you put it in a thing. Like, Resident Evil 7 had better puzzles than, like, what y'all are making recently. Like, that shadow puzzle, that's a puzzle. Just because Ethan had to put 3 dog heads in a door to open it, that could be considered a puzzle because you actually had to do things to go and find it. Like Resident Evil 2, you guys are skirting on the line of puzzle, not puzzle. And it's really getting annoying because that's what y'all's games are about. Puzzles, backtracking, and just all around fun. And I'm starting to not have fun with your games. And Code Veronica better not get the shaft in the situation because it was a good game. It was one of your best games. And all you gotta do is freaking, like, get it together, get some gumption, and make a great game that I'm willing to pay $60 for. Because I don't think Resident Evil 3 is worth $60 right now. Like, I can't believe y'all did that. Y'all know that there's a virus going around and y'all gonna be like $60 even. Okay. Anyway. Number 6. Stop acting slick and adding new stuff. If the new stuff conflicts with what made the old games good, leave it be. Don't fix something that's not broken. Number 7. Don't make Claire thirsty for Steve, I beg of you. She was pretty stiff to him in the original until he died. Then she became some wailing widow loser like they were together for 90 years. Like, don't do that. Don't be like, please don't make her a female simp. Please don't. Because she did not like him. Like, I guess she had some humanity to feel sorry that he died. But, like, that was it. That was it. There was no relationship. There was no, how about we get some dinner sometime? No, don't do that. I swear. I will not buy your game. I won't. And I'll tell other people to not buy your game either. That's just not going to happen. Number 8. Don't make Claire look pudgy. Like I told you, she looked pudgy when, in number 2. I really don't know what y'all need to really look at a picture of what she looked like, because this is where I get, like, the continuity is busted already. Already coming out the gate, busted. Y'all need to look at a picture at what these people look like. Like, you cannot just say, like, with the whole thing that I say about dragons, you cannot say a wyvern is a dragon, because everything has a thing. Like, in order to be classified as a human, you have to have certain qualifications. You can't just say, well, this potato is a human because I say so. You have to have qualifications. You can't say a unicorn is a unicorn if it's got 2 horns. A unicorn has a 1 horn. So you cannot say that this is Claire, because Claire doesn't have brown hair. She had red hair. She always had red hair. It wasn't something, well, I just like to dye it, yeah. No, she always had red hair. Always. Always. So why didn't y'all do that in 2? Explain to me. Explain to me. Where did her red hair go? Where did it go? You can't make Sonic green and expect people to be like, yeah, that's Sonic. It's just a remake of Sonic. No, that's not what remake means. That's redo. You redid Claire, which is ridiculous. Claire's one of my favorite characters of your franchise, and you're going to make her some thirsty, ugly, with no hair, with no red hair looking woman, like. And then you're not even gonna, like, I'm just going to the next one. Number 9. If any changes are made, I will only accept the following changes. And here are some changes that I will accept. Making Chris and Claire playable at the same time. I'm talking co-op, alright? Wesker is a boss battle for Claire because he kind of just shows up and just twiddles his mustache and leaves. And that's like okay because we don't really know who he is at this point. But since we're making remakes and we already know these people, y'all could just please do something better. Stop adding things that make the game worse. Like, honestly. Claire doesn't cry over Steve. That'd be great if y'all did stop to the crying out entirely. Wailing Widow. Like, take it out. Longer Nosferatu battle. That was my favorite battle, and it only lasted like 5 minutes. Like, you can make it last longer if you've got bootleg guns, but I don't play that game. Make it the Nosferatu battle longer, just like y'all did in Dark Side Chronicles, where he was in a different spot, maybe not. Maybe just leave it at the top. Like I said, don't change the story too much. If you have to change the story to make something different, don't change it at all. How about that? I don't know why somebody that is just playing a game that has nothing to do with making games has to tell y'all that. More memorable guns. I love when the guns have names or if there's some backstory to it. Like, oh, I remember this gun from this place. How about have more memorable guns? Make Steve's playable part longer. Like I said, there's always a side bootleg character. So this is another Claire game where Chris comes in later on. This isn't Chris's game. He already had a game, so whatever. And this isn't Steve. This definitely isn't Steve's game. This is Claire's game. So y'all can make Steve's playable part longer. It's not gonna make it his game automatically. But, like, I felt like that was just added on because y'all didn't know what to do with Steve. Except, kill him. Kill him. He doesn't need to live the whole time, but whatever. Removing any story aspect from the original. Like, removing any story, like, I really don't understand why y'all do that. Like, y'all take particular things out. Just like on Resident Evil 3. Y'all took out the part where Jill went to the station, but Carlos goes. Like, that's kind of dumb. That's really kind of dumb. Why did you have to change that? But I digress. Changes that I will refuse. These are the changes that I will refuse to buy your game. I promise you. I promise you. I'm going to look it up before I get it because I have to know that this is what it is before I bought it. Because you know what? I am infamous for getting Kingdom Hearts 3 Deluxe Edition and then getting crapped on with everything that's in there. But I digress. We're not talking about Kingdom Hearts 3. We're never talking about Kingdom Hearts 3 anymore. Claire is the ultimate female simp to Steve. Like, I swear, I tell you, like, I'm telling y'all, if y'all make her thirsty once again, I'm gonna lose it. I'm just gonna lose it. Alfred doesn't cross-dress as Alexia. Now, with the whole quote-unquote climate, like people always like to talk about political climate or whatever, it doesn't bother me. It didn't bother me, and it shouldn't bother anybody that she was cross-dressing. So don't take it out. Don't just say, well, we gotta do this for me too. And then stop saying that y'all do things for me too, because y'all don't talk to no one about anything having to do with your game. Y'all just say, me too, hee hee. And then y'all just accept that. And then you get people upset at people who are actually me too. And they're like, what did we do? We didn't get no cut of the bacon. We didn't get no slice of the pie. So why y'all even doing that? If y'all are going to put in Me Too, y'all better put some money towards some women's shelters or something. Or something. I don't know what y'all doing, but don't you dare put Me Too and talk about, don't blame Me Too for what y'all did to y'all's game or movie or anything, because that is atrocious. Stop saying, well, we had to take out this part because Me Too. No one asked you to do that. No one told you to do that. You weren't paid to do that, and nobody was paid for you to put Me Too in there, so you need to shut up about that. All right. I digress. Whew. Taking out the black guy at the beginning. The one who released Claire from prison. Now, he has a very, very small role. And I feel like y'all are like thinking, oh, let's think bigger. No. Think the same. Think the same and then add extra stuff. How about that? That's all you got to do. You've got everything at your disposal. Everything at your disposal. And y'all are still going to take out crap and switch things up. And Carlos is here and Jill's there. And then Claire's here and Leon's there. Stop. Y'all have games. They exist. Go back and play them and then make your game. If you cannot just do it by reading things, because obviously y'all cannot, because you keep making things different and people are like, oh, well, I want a different game. No, you don't want a different game. I want the same game with better graphics and extra things that make it cool. That's what I want. And I'm a fan of this series and franchise, and I'm telling y'all, that's what we want. Any old humbum that tells you differently, not a fan. Not a fan. No, don't care about this. They just want to buy some game to play. I actually care about this. So I'm saying, stop changing things for no reason. Now, cutscenes replacing gameplay. Now, this is something that y'all keep doing. Like, if y'all want to make movies, make movies. I'm sick of buying video games for $60 and getting a movie. I feel gypped. Like, stop. If y'all want to make a Resident Evil movie, do it then. Do it and then put it for $29.99 like every other movie. Stop selling movies for $60. It's highway robbery. And the next thing, basically, have an intern play the original game and make him report his findings. Like I said, if y'all are too lazy to go back and look at these PlayStation 2 and GameCube games to make a remake, how about this? Get an intern, you scum, and make him play the game for you. If y'all are too lazy to do it, have an intern do it. That's it. Simple, easy, no money cost, except maybe to buy the game if he doesn't already have it. Why don't you get an intern that actually likes the game? Well, instead of getting some humbum intern that, like, I don't know, get somebody that actually likes the game to tell you, excuse me, but Claire doesn't look like that. She doesn't look like a man. Leon doesn't look like a baby. Why don't y'all do that? Why don't y'all do that instead of just making these characters look any old ham way y'all feel? Because I don't understand that, like, y'all think that these games are your pet projects, that you can just do whatever and test subjects. They're not your test subjects. These games have been out. We don't need to buy your game because they're already out. These remakes are just what they are, remakes. We don't really need to buy them, but we are buying them because the graphics are updated. So I suggest y'all get it together before y'all start losing money like you did before when you made Resident Evil 6. And honestly, I want a graphically updated game, not entirely different game. Just call it something. If it's going to be an entirely different game, just call it something else. Don't call it Resident Evil. If you're going to make a completely different game, then don't call it Resident Evil. That's it. That's all we're speaking about this. That's 9 mistakes I want left out of my Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. I swear, if any of these mistakes are on there, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not, because that's just ridiculous. Y'all have everything before you to do, to use, to utilize. Utilize something. Do something. Stop making Claire look ridiculous, and she better have red hair. That's all I'm saying. Red hair or nothing.